Om Shanti. Today is the 3rd of August 2022. Let us listen to the Sakar Murli of our beloved Bap Dada. Bap Dada, Madhuban. Essence. Sweet children, only when your intellects have knowledge will your remembrance of the Father remain permanent. Stay on the spiritual pilgrimage and enable others to stay on it by filling their intellects with knowledge. Today's question is, God is the bestower, so why is there the system of donating in the name of God? In answer, Baba explains, because they make God their hire. They believe that God will give them the return of that in their next birth. To give in the name of God means to make Him your child. On the path of devotion too, you make Him your child. That is, you surrender everything of yours to Him. Therefore, in return for your surrendering yourself to Him, this once, He surrenders Himself to you for 21 births. You bring shells to the Father and receive diamonds from Him in return. The example of Sudama is based on this. Today's song, O traveller of the night, do not become weary. The destination of dawn is not far off. Om Shanti. You children must have understood that one line of this song. When the Father says children, you should understand that the Father is sitting here and explaining to us souls. You have to become soul conscious. Everyone knows that there are the two things, the soul and the body, but they don't understand that there would also be the Father of us souls. We souls are residents of the land beyond sound. These things don't enter their intellects. The Father says, this knowledge completely vanishes. You know that this play is now about to end. You now have to return home. Impure souls cannot go back home. Not a single soul can go back home. This is in the drama. When all the souls have come here, it is then that souls begin to return. You now know that the Father is teaching us the spiritual pilgrimage. He says, O souls, now stay on the pilgrimage of remembrance of the Father. You have been going on physical pilgrimages for birth after birth. It is now your spiritual pilgrimage. Once you go, you won't come back to the land of death. When people go on pilgrimages, they come back. Those are physical pilgrimages of body consciousness. This pilgrimage is spiritual. No one, apart from the unlimited Father, can teach you this pilgrimage. You children have to follow Srimad. Everything depends on the pilgrimage of remembrance. However much children remember me, it is only when they have this knowledge that they will be able to stay in remembrance all the time. You also have the knowledge of the cycle of 84 births. Our 84 births are now coming to an end. This is the pilgrimage of the cycle of 84 births. It is called the pilgrimage of coming and going. Everyone continues to come and go. You take birth and then leave your bodies. This is called coming and going. You are now becoming free from the cycle of coming and going in the land of sorrow. This is the land of sorrow. Your births and deaths are now to take place in the land of immortality. You have come to the Lord of immortality to make effort for this. All of you are Parvatis who are listening to the story of immortality from the Lord of immortality who is always immortal. You are not always immortal. You enter the cycle of birth and death. At present, your cycle is in the period of hell. You are being liberated from this, and your coming and going will then be in heaven. There you won't have any sorrow. This is your final birth. You will continue to see how destruction takes place. People beat their heads for war not to take place, and so they say that they should dispose of all the bombs at sea. All of them continue to say this, but they don't know that the time has now come to an end. You are now at the confluence age, whereas people of the world believe that the Iron Age is just beginning and that the confluence age will come after 40,000 years. That has emerged from the scriptures. The Father says, whatever Vedas and scriptures you have been studying, and whatever donations you have given, and whatever charity you have performed for birth after birth, All of that is the path of devotion. You know that you first become Brahmins and then deities. The Brahmin clan is the most elevated. This is something practical. No one can go into the deity clan without first coming into the Brahmin clan. You have the faith that you are children of Brahma and that you are claiming your divine kingdom from Shiv Baba. You are now making effort. You also have to race. You have to study very well and then also teach others to make them worthy so that they too see the happiness of heaven. Everyone remembers the land of Krishna. They don't rock Sri Rama in a cradle in his childhood. They love Sri Krishna a great deal, but that is with blind faith. They don't understand anything. The Father has explained that at this time the whole world is Tamopradhan and ugly. Bharat was very beautiful. It was the golden age. It is now in the iron age. You too are in the iron age and you now have to go to the golden age. The Father is doing the work of a goldsmith. The alloys of iron and copper that are mixed in your souls are now being removed. You souls and your bodies have both now become false. You now have to become real gold once again. When a lot of alloy is mixed into real gold, the ornaments made from it contain less gold. There is now very little gold remaining in you souls. The jewelry is also old. It would be said to be 2-carat gold. The Father sits here and gives you Srimad. Bharat truly was heaven. There were no other kingdoms of any other religion. You now have to make effort to go to heaven again. However, Maya doesn't allow you to do this. Maya opposes you a great deal. She defeats you a great deal on the battlefield. While moving along, some experience storms, they indulge in vice and make their faces completely ugly. The Father says, I am now making your faces beautiful. Don't indulge in vice and make your faces ugly again. Make your stage pure by staying in yoga. As you become pure, all the alloy will be removed. This is why you have to stay in the furnace of yoga. Goldsmiths will understand these things very well. Alloy is removed from gold by putting it on a fire. Then you are left with a brick of real gold. The Father says, the more you continue to remember me, the purer you will become. The Father gives you Srimad. What else would he do? Some say, Baba, have mercy. What mercy would the Father have? The Father says, stay in remembrance and the alloy will be removed. So, are you going to stay in remembrance or ask for mercy and blessings? Here, each one of you has to make your own individual effort. The Father says, spiritual children, don't become tired on this pilgrimage. Don't forget the Father again and again. All the time you are in remembrance, it is as though you are in a furnace. If you are not in remembrance, you are not in a furnace. You then commit more sins. They continue to be added through which you become ugly. You make effort to become beautiful and then you become ugly, which means that you were 50% ugly and then you became 100% ugly. It is the vice of lust that has made you ugly. That is the pyre of lust and this is the pyre of knowledge. The main thing is vice. The quarrels at home take place because of this. It is explained to you Kumaris that because you are now pure, you are good. Everyone falls at the feet of Kumaris because they are pure. All of you are Brahma Kumaris. It is only you Brahma Kumaris who make Bharat into heaven. Therefore, your memorial has continued on the path of devotion. Kumaris are given a lot of respect. There are Brahma Kumars too, but the majority is of mothers. The Father himself comes and says, salutations to the mothers. You make the Father your hire. Why do you donate in the name of God on the path of devotion? The Father gives to the children, does he not? So, why do you donate to God? You donate in the name of God, you donate in the name of Krishna. What is Krishna to you that you donate to him? There has to be some meaning to it. Krishna is not poor. In spite of that, they say, in the name of God. It cannot be in the name of Krishna. He is the Prince of the Golden Age. The Father explains, I fulfill the desires of everyone. Krishna cannot fulfill desires. Those people consider Krishna to be God and surrender everything to him. In fact, it is I who give the fruit. Everything is explained about the things of the path of devotion. You give to Shiv Baba, and so he is definitely the child. He is the child on the path of devotion and also the child here. On the path of devotion, you receive a return for a temporary period. It is now direct, and that is why you receive the inheritance for 21 births. Here, you have to surrender yourself completely. You surrender yourself to him once, and he surrenders himself to you for 21 births. You bring shells to the Father in order to receive diamonds from him. Internally, you understand that you are putting a handful of rice in Shiv Baba's Bhandara, that is, treasure store. The example of Sudama refers to this time. What is Shiv Baba to you that you give to him? If he is the child, then you are greater than him. You understand that if you give one, you can receive 1,000-fold. The bestower who bestows is only that one. Sages don't give you anything. I give to you even on the path of devotion. That is why Baba asks you, how many children do you have? Some are able to understand this, whereas others aren't. You know that you are now surrendering yourself to Shiv Baba. Our bodies, minds and wealth all belong to him. He will give us the inheritance for 21 births. The hearts of the wealthy ones shrink. Baba is called the Lord of the Poor. The Father says, you have to look after your households. You mustn't think that you can sit here. Simply continue to follow Srimad. Constantly remember me alone, that's all. On the path of devotion, you used to sing, mine is one alone and none another, or none other. So many things are explained to you children. Not everyone understands to the same extent. They will emerge later. You will then also have power. As soon as they hear you, they will quickly be able to grasp it. If there is the faith that the Father is making you into the masters of heaven for 21 births, they wouldn't miss even a second. This Baba relates his own experience. He was a jeweler. Look what happened to him while he was just sitting. He simply saw that he was receiving the sovereignty from Baba, that is Shiv Baba. He saw destruction and also the kingdom, and so he said, let me go of this slavery. He had visions, but he had no knowledge. He was simply aware that he was to receive the sovereignty. When you see that the Father has come to give you the sovereignty of heaven, you should instantly catch hold of him. Baba, all of this is yours. Let it be used for your work. Baba handed everything over to the mothers. He also created a committee of mothers and gave them everything. Baba used to get everything done. He understood that he was receiving the sovereignty for 21 births from Baba. So you too can now claim that. Baba let go of that slavery straight away. He has been moving along very happily since he let go of all of that. This is being told by Shiv Baba for Brahma Baba. Now he says, I have established the deity religion many times. Baba would have established it through the Brahma Kumaris and Kumars many times. Since it is like that, why should you delay? We will definitely claim our inheritance for 21 births from Baba. Baba doesn't make you renounce your homes and families. You may also look after them very well, but simply remember the Father. Let there be the intoxication that you belong to Baba. Some write to Baba, Baba, so-and-so's intellect has very great faith and he is very sensible. He explains to many. However, those whose intellects have faith don't come to me. If he hasn't even met Baba and he dies, how would he receive his inheritance? Here, you have to be adopted by the Father. If you have faith and then leave your body without having made any effort, if you haven't become golden aged from iron aged, you will take birth as common subjects. If you become a child and are very firm and then leave your body, you will become an heir. It doesn't require effort to become an heir. Some claim the Sun Dynasty kingdom and some will claim the status of a kingdom from one birth at the end by doing service. That is not real happiness. The happiness of the kingdom is at the beginning because the degrees then continue to decrease. You children have to make effort and follow your mother and father. At least become worthy of sitting on the throne of Mama and Baba. Why should you have heart failure? Make effort and follow them. Become the masters of the Sun Dynasty throne. At least come to heaven. Someone who fails will go into the Moon Dynasty. There is a reduction of 2 degrees by then. Acha, to the sweetest beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and we, the spiritual children, say Namaste to our spiritual father. Today's essence for Dharana, 2 points. The first point is, instead of asking the father for blessings, remain engaged on the pilgrimage of remembrance. Never become tired on the spiritual pilgrimage. Second point, make Shiv Baba your higher and surrender yourself completely to him. Follow the mother and father. Claim the happiness of the kingdom for 21 births. Today's blessing, may you be detached and loving and practice having the consciousness of being an instrument, and you yourself and others will progress. Today's blessing once again, may you be detached and loving and practice having the consciousness of being an instrument, and you yourself and others will progress. Baba explains this beautiful blessing. The lesson of being an instrument makes you constantly detached and loving. If you practice the natural and easy consciousness of being an instrument, your progress and others is always merged in that at every step. The feet of such souls are not on the ground but on the stage. Souls who are instruments are constantly aware that they are examples to the world of being equal to the Father. Today's slogan, as children of the bestower of happiness, constantly continue to swing in the swing of happiness and do not let any waves of sorrow to come. Slogan once again, as children of the bestower of happiness, constantly continue to swing in the swing of happiness and do not let any waves of sorrow to come. Acha, Om Shanti.